What do you think of Nikolai Mew? Do you believe him? Let's bring in our guests. I have with us psychologist and author Dr. Sue Kornbluth and trial attorney Jamie White. Great to see you both. Okay, so we know that Nicholas Mew had his pants on fire. Nikolai Mew had his pants on fire from the time he tossed that knife at the scene to the time he really sat down with this lieutenant. Finally, we saw him clearing everything up yesterday on the stand, but was it enough? Is anybody going to believe this guy now? Want to get your thoughts. Jamie White, to you next, please. So we have this defendant who, you know, I just keep thinking that if he had been honest from the outset, we wouldn't be in this predicament today. He wouldn't be on trial, facing a murder charge, having to explain himself. I'd love to get your thoughts on that, Jamie.
Well, I was thinking the exact same thing as I was listening to Dr. Sue. You know, a true self-defense. You know, you're on the phone, you're telling the story, you can't wait to get the truth out. You're not disposing of weapons, you're not making up situations. Dr. Sue brings up great points. I mean, people react very irrationally. It sounds like there was drugs and alcohol and all sorts of nonsense going on. So there are some factors that I think could be explained away, but a true self-defense case, you can't wait to get your story out. And I think that's going to be a problem for him with the jury.
I do too. I do too. It just, you know what, I was thinking as I was watching the facts initially, I thought, this is a pretty good self-defense case. Just watching the video, when I just looked at the video, even before I saw the opening statements, I thought, oh, wow. Oh, wow. But then this guy made a mess for himself. I mean, just a mess with all of his moments where he lied about various things. All right, no dismissal of that juror. Let me bring in my guests, see what they think about this. Trial attorney Jamie White and Dr. Sue Kornbluth. Jamie, want to go to you first, please. Your thoughts on it, on the whole situation, the timeliness of the objection and the motion, and then the judge's ruling.
So I'll try to hit all three of those in the 30 seconds I have, Julie. You know, look, I've tried more than 200 cases, and if it's not, this is always an issue. It's usually a family member or somebody from the pews that are, you know, witnessing something they think is inappropriate. I think Judge Waterford nailed it. This is a subjective opinion by an officer that was not immediately reported, and we don't know what people are doing in their stead. I could tell you personally, when I get up in the morning, you know, the first thing I do is I bow down and spend some time by myself, and I'm supposed to an onlooker that could look like sleeping, but it certainly is not. And so this was a waste of the court's time, and it's almost it's a very risky move on the part of the prosecutor, because when you put a juror, first of all, this should have happened back in chambers. This was not fair for this to be publicized. I understand they didn't share her name, but here nor there, this should have been dealt with in chambers. And so for those reasons, I think the judge got it exactly right.
I'm with you, Jamie. Yes, I like that point. In chambers, perhaps, and yesterday, perhaps. Here's what we're going to do. I want to say goodbye and a big thank you to our wonderful guests, Dr. Sue Kornbluth and attorney Jamie White. Thank you both kindly. We'll see you soon.